A very warm welcome, everybody, to Ultimate Pool the Masters. It's the highlight show for week 4, where Greg Batten is the only Ultimate Pool professional in the group. He'll be taking on Conor Treacy in our second match, but our first match will see Darren McCarthy taking on Nathan Ellis, and then the two winners will play each other. It was a scrappy opening to the match, but it was Nathan that made the better of it, racing into a 3-0 lead. Darren did respond with an X2, and we joined Nathan at the table at the start of frame 6.
Top notch.
Yeah, it was great to see the number one find some form.
I think it just shows a lot of the bottle that you need to compete in these events and go on to win them. There's always points where you look back in the tournament and go, oh, if I'd have missed that black, or if I missed that, and look back, I've potted a big ball there. And Shane, the confidence that Shane would have taken from that, we said when we did the Ultimate Pool Extra, he can take that into the rest of the season. And he's going to do some damage and probably pick up one of the events towards the end of the season, I would think.
Yeah, and it's strange how one result can change your mindset, because there's a feeling, especially with such a big gap between, him playing in the Masters, and obviously then he's got the Players Championship and then the Pro Series. But you just had that sense that if that match had gone against him, then it could be a long wait for that Pro Series. But now that he's won it, he's going to be full of confidence once again, and very dangerous.
And he's aiming for the top 16, isn't he? And he knew how big that match was, because with it being a ranking event, he was a must-win for him.
Yeah.
Because the pressure that he would have been on, he's going to be under pressure in December anyway when it comes round, but the added pressure would have been on when he's going to have to watch all the next load of Wednesdays where every pro's playing, and if they're picking up points, the gap could get bigger and bigger by the time December comes round.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, Nathan has worked his way through this finish very nicely indeed. His best moment in the match, complete control of his visit, and a simple 8-ball to go 2 frames in front. Once again, no mistakes.
Darren won the next again to get within 1 once again as we move into frame 8.
It is an element of the Ultimate Pool. I know some people say, oh, I haven't had a go at it and practiced it. It's something that I do factor into my practice routines now. I will spend 10 minutes just having a go. I feel like in my head I've got a break that works for me. Don't get me wrong, I don't get fast times all the time, but I've got something which I'm confident at using, and if they're all racked right, which they obviously should be at all times, I'm confident of posting a decent time. I think it's important, the way the Ultimate Pool setup is, you will have 6 reds, so why not put the time in to practice it?
Yeah, I agree. And I don't hear too many players talk about the fact they practice the 6 red, but I think it can be the difference between winning and losing matches, and therefore winning and losing tournaments. It's so important.
I think Sean Story is one of the big advocates of, he puts a lot of time in practicing the 6 reds, and you always see him at the tour weekends. He's him and Chris Day, they're one of the first ones down into the practice rooms, and they put the time in and they get the rewards.
Yeah, big fan of that. Big fan. Without winning a 6 red shootout, you might not be in the pro ranks this year. That's how important it can be. So you won your 6 red against Dan Eaton-Lees. That was the tournament that you went on to win.
Yeah.
That's the difference potentially. Darren is working his way through this one nicely. You can see the difference actually in this visit to the one he took on in the first frame or two. He's actually controlling what he's doing. He's got control of the visit rather than reacting. Still has to work out that 8-ball though.
Yeah, he's got to come up in the line of, because he looks like he's going to try and leave an angle on the red to play the black into the right-hand centre pocket.
Straight's no good then. So he got just enough angle to force it across. It looks a little straight. Big shake of the head. This is not good. If the 8-ball only goes in the right centre, then he had a lot more mileage for long rather than short.
Could he screw off the bottom rail? It might go.
Oh, if this goes bottom left, then he's fine.
What do we know?
what, I'm wondering what his shake of the head was for. Oh, it's tight, that's why. Oh, shaves the yellow. Takes a coat of paint off the yellow, but still drops in, and we are all square.
The scores are tied as we move into frame 9 and join Nathan at the table.
That's a clever shot.
Yeah, very nice. Had to get that one right, and he has. Touching ball's been called. Doesn't change the situation, though, for Darren McCarthy. Still needs to hit a yellow and hit a cushion. Just a good effort, but not to be.
Then the clever shot Nathan played there is obviously by playing that shot, he's opened up his reds. Obviously, the two at the right-hand side rail were tied up, blocking each other. Now they all go. He's just got that red by the black, which he could probably try play on now if he wanted.
And potentially the 8-ball a little bit, but might be playing this one off the yellow just to open up the pocket, which makes life a lot easier. Oh, and that helps as well. Gets the 8-ball in motion, gets that away from the cushion to a pocket where it didn't go to, in a very nice, comfortable position.
That was a great shot and good vision. Nathan seems to have picked up his pace a little bit as well.
Yeah, so certainly striding around the table with a little bit more purpose.
He's got to travel with the white a little bit here. And I know he's played a good shot there and he's on the black, but for me that's the difference with the top players. Like when I watch the likes of Gareth Potts practice and things like that, and Mick, and they do so little travelling with the white ball.
That puts Nathan Ellis back in front, and they shared the next 2 frames to go to 6-5 as we join Darren McCarthy at the table.
Maybe. I mean, you know that yellow he's just potted. He's played that well, but he's put the pressure on himself now.
Yeah.
I think the yellow he's just potted, if he'd have just drifted over and just take the pocket and just said to Nathan, you sort of go, and because the pressure he's got on now, he's just opened up all his reds. He's took 2 yellows on the rail.
Yeah, he might live to regret that one. Nathan comes back to the table with a wide open chance on reds.
That's the fascinating thing about the rule set is sometimes your head can program it that I've got to go, and you don't always have to, and it's a game of cat and mouse sometimes.
Especially with the match clock as well as anything else. Darren might be sitting there going, I need to go quickly because that match clock can get away from me. But he had enough time. All he has to do is win this frame to stay in the match. And he had plenty of time to, take a pocket or cover an area or play the loss of turn, slow things down, ask a tough question of your opponent. Of course, on another day, would be raving about the shot that Darren played if they'd come out kinder for him. So it is a tough one to work out what's best, and everyone will be different. Nathan is flowing a bit more now, though.
He's taking these out well to go 7-5 up. Was doing it in practice, and I kept putting balls and leaving good layouts, and I thought, well, I'll try it. And I think the second frame of the Monday nights with Jimmy the other week, we did exactly that, but then the rest of the night just fell apart.
Yeah. It's definitely something to work on. Most important shot, or one of the most important shots in the game. Give yourself that opportunity. That wasn't the best outcome for Darren. Tricky little ball now. Tricky little cue ball as well. It's a good pot. Not back in perfect shape, but he is back in position to a point. Has to make a finish here. Has to get out.
He's cueing these confidently. good shot. Can he screw back slightly?
I think this is an awkward angle.
Yeah, it looks like if he screws back, he goes into the red, doesn't he?
Yeah. You can end up missing this because you're trying to create an angle that's maybe not quite there.
There you go.
Yeah. Was just that really awkward angle. He wanted a shade less angle or a shade more, where he can just punch across it or come back through the gap. That could be that. Oh, there's definitely going to be that. Oh, the 8-ball stays on the table. That would have gifted the match. That would have been 8-5 for Nathan Ellis, but he still has the opportunity to make it 8-5 or at least run the clock down.
Yeah, it's quite awkward how them 3 reds in the middle of the table have they're all blocking a route. Obviously, he's got a free shot to develop him, but it just makes him have to think about something.
I'd be tempted to play the one by the 8-ball and then play the breakout shot.
For me, he's got to play the clock now and just play safe. There's no need to push the boat out. I'd just bridge over these 2 reds, just play the bottom one down here.
No, he's still going to go. The reds, whilst he opened them up to a point, they actually still go. You know, it looked trickier than they were. He could pop the one he was nearest to. The one by the yellow does go to the top left. Actually, the trickiest ball on the table is that one by the 8-ball. And it's still the trickiest ball. Not an easy ball to land on.
No, it looks like he's got the wrong angle here. He could either screw it into the top right pocket and bring the white round 2 rails. Is he on the double?
Double's a big shot because if you miss the double and it looks tight, you're leaving the yellow on. Oh, right in the heart of the pocket. Lovely shot from Nathan.
Yeah, because like you say, if you miss that, he leaves the yellow one and there's enough time in the match to pull it level. He'll be happy to get through this game.
And that is it for Nathan Ellis. 8-ball completes the job. He gets over the line.
Nathan Ellis then moves on to tonight's final. He will play the winner of our second match, Greg Batten versus Conor Treacy, and we're going to join it right at the start of the match.
We've reset the match clock to 50 minutes, and it is a race to 8 frames, and it will be Greg Batten to get the first opportunity in this match. As I mentioned earlier, Greg, the only Ultimate Pool professional in the group. He is the top seed of this group. But this is a tough matchup. Conor can really play. We saw both players in the opening match just struggle a fraction, certainly early on in the match. And I think we may see the level slightly higher at the start of this match.
I like both players. They're both good set of lads and really enjoy playing the game and dedicate themselves. And it'd be a good friendly affair as such. A couple of times, I know Conor is a top player, but he's played on this arena table a couple of times. I don't think we've seen the best of him.
I had a quick chat with him earlier and he did actually mention that he was very disappointed last time he played, which I think was in the Champions League on this arena table.
I think he comes into tonight in a bit of good form as well. I think he was in the tournament last weekend. He got to the semi-final and he knows his game's in a good place. And I don't know if you've seen, I've seen some of the drills that Greg's been doing recently, and he looks like he's queuing well. Yeah,
he said earlier he was playing some really good stuff. He's up against it. The first shot he played in this visit didn't quite get the cannon he wanted to, and I think his plan would have been to clear the ones at the top of the table up a little bit neater and then come down, and he's in an awkward angle now.
It's hard to sort of pot this red into the middle and be on anything.
He needs it to go long, but I'm not sure it does.
Trying to force it through.
It might be on a ball here. Red on the break line may go, but the other two are in really awkward positions.
He might look at the back double, and the white just come round in between the gap between the yellow and the red.
That was a big pocket if you miss on the wide side, but he missed on the narrow side.
I think he was trying to play with an element of positional play on the reds, and he wasn't fully focused on the double. And this Conor should be looking at this table. Obviously, he knows he's got to punish these mistakes from Greg, and this is already a big frame for Conor to settle him in.
You never want your opponent to have first opportunity, but when your opponent has had first opportunity, potted a few balls, it just makes your layout a little bit easier. And also you feel the reward for winning the frame is a little bit better as well, because you know that your opponent's had a chance and not taken it, so you're punishing an error. Conor would love to take these out and settle himself down into the night.
He's just got to make sure he gets the right angle after the shot. I think he'll try play on the one onto the rail after this. Wiped its feet a little bit. It's important to get good on this yellow onto the left-hand side.
Yeah, straight might be a bit awkward. And he's not straight, that's a lovely shot.
Yeah, he's played that well. He's got to play to pot the yellow and bump into the red after the next shot, I think. This could be quite awkward.
Yeah, if that was the plan, he's come far too far. Obviously, he can pot both of these yellows, but you were talking about potting the lower one of the two and then going into the red.
Yeah, I think now you have to pot the outside one, the yellow that he's going for, and he's going to use the red to come back up the table after the shot. So play this yellow with the white going into the red, and the white will come off the bottom rail on the left-hand side of the table naturally.
You could see him there just putting a tracer left-hand side on that as well, which nearly came back to hurt him a little bit because he nearly went too far across the middle of the table, but actually finished perfect. So a lovely shot from Conor and a lovely fizz it to the table.
The next two frames were shared with reverse clearances as we join Greg Batten breaking off in frame 4.
Greg Batten's social media feeds, go and check it out. It really is brilliant. He is an absolutely top draw magician.
He's a very good commentator as well.
He is very, very good.
Have you heard him talking his way through his finishes?
Yeah.
And he's quite entertaining to listen to be honest.
Yeah, well, I've done plenty of matches with Greg as well. We've commentated with, as all you professionals do. It's great to have you all come and join us in the commentary box, get your insights on the games, and Greg is absolutely fantastic.
I think he's going to go reds here and here, and pot the one on the left middle and hold on the yellow.
Needs that yellow to drop. Well, okay, doesn't need it to drop. He can go, doesn't need that pocket, but he would have preferred it to drop.
Yeah, the tricky thing about this finish is with the three reds at the top end, they don't look like they plant as such, so he's got to make sure he gets the right angle. On the one at the bottom now. Now there is an element to just sort of half just stun this in and just draw the white back slightly and play the red into the left hand top corner pocket as we look.
So no plant at all, you sort of take them one by one by one.
Yeah.
He's changed his mind. Slight issue with the timing clock there. He did play the shot in time. The buzzer did go off, but he was absolutely fine.
He's slightly off angle. He might be able to pinch the pocket to still play the shot that I was talking about.
And I think that's why he took that one that he's just played, is because he was slightly worried about it previously.
So he can take his medicine, play the red on the bottom rail, I think.
He's a little bit not far enough back, so he's coming down the table.
He's got to. The line of the white's probably got to be round about where the black is, I think. to have the cut on the red. He's played it well.
Yeah, just used the yellow. That helped him hold the cue ball just that fraction higher up the table as well. Still needs to play a good shot because that yellow didn't drop earlier on in the frame, so the 8 ball does not go to the, what it would have gone to the bottom left-hand corner pocket.
Depending on his angle, he's either going to play it with left-hand side and come down the left-hand side of the table, or straight down and use the yellow on the right-hand side as his marker for the black in the middle.
Wants to drift by. Wants to drift by. Oh, he may have had a nudge here. He may have had a nudge.
Yeah, he's had a nudge, hasn't he?
He's had a nudge. He certainly didn't play for it in this pocket.
Oh.
He was just a little bit awkward because he was so close to it. He was worried about fouling. And he's going to be very disappointed. And that was such a good chance to tie the scores up.
Oh, disappointing positional shot and miss from Greg Batten there, and that would cost him the frame. And Conor Treacy would treble the pain as well by winning the next 2 frames with clearances from the break to go 5-1 in front. And we join in breaking off in frame 7.
Achieved with Ultimate Pool. He was definitely the seed and the favourite. And of course, Jack Whelan was the big favourite for his group. The winner of tonight will join those 3 in the second stage. That will be the first group of the second stage of the competition.
Another good break, and whilst the yellows look tricky, I'm wondering whether the yellow on the left-hand side of the table goes off the red into the top left.
Extension called.
And if he can land on it, then he's got a dot-to-dot finish.
Yellow ball's in play.
Even better.
Yeah, I think that yellow does go now. It's not the full pocket, but it does go. A lovely little shot just to open up his trickiest ball.
That's a perfect example of how well Conor's playing.
Yeah, made that look really easy, and it wasn't.
I think this performance here is going to do him the world of good moving forward with Ultimate Pool, because I feel like, obviously, it's his first season within the Ultimate Pool organisation. And I suppose he's half been thinking to himself, well, he's got something to prove and trying to prove things to people. And obviously, it's all in your head, and you don't have to do that. But the confidence it'll take from this, I wouldn't be surprised if you see him start having deep runs for the rest of the season.
Yeah, I think he knows his best game is certainly at pro level. But you've got to do it. Oh, cue ball in off. Could that be a turning point?
Commentator's curse.
Yeah, just about to rave about the level that Conor's playing at, and he gets the worst possible kiss.
Greg's certainly sped up. I'm not quite sure how long there's left on the match clock.
Yeah, we will update you with how many minutes are left as soon as we find out. The referee is monitoring it with the timer out there.
The white was travelling again, and unfortunately he's dry. The only good thing is he hasn't left an easy starter for Conor.
Yeah, just wondering if he's got a red into the centre pocket.
Yeah, good spot.
Still trickier than the last couple of finishes off Greg's break.
They're there again though, aren't they? Now he's potted that, they're all there. He's going to take the 4 at the top end of the table and then drift down to take the bottom 2 reds and with the black in the middle. And we should be looking at 6-2.
Gets frustrating as a player as well. You know, you sit there and you make a mistake and you feel like it's cost you 2 or 3 frames, and then your opponent makes a mistake, and then your next break you're thinking, okay, here we go, let's get some momentum going, and you come up dry.
Yeah, and you can see, look at Greg sat on his chair shaking his head. He knows that what's losing him this match is, yes, he's made a couple of mistakes, but his break has cost him 3. This will be the third frame where it's been a reverse clearance on his break. And at this level, you can't expect to win matches if that's happening. It's a little bit awkward here.
He wanted to be a little bit further down the right-hand side.
Yeah, Conor's really got to cue this in well to guarantee being on the red. Shot.
Yeah, beautiful.
Has he got a little bit too much angle to hold for the black?
Yeah, he has, but I think he's come around to have a look to see how high up he can be and still be on the 8 ball, and I think he can just hold.
Yeah. Let's play that with a bit of reverse side to just check it up off the side rail.
Conor Treacy would break clear in the next frame as well to go 1 frame away from victory. We join Greg Batten breaking off, trying to stay in the match.
What's not great to see for Greg Batten and his supporters is 7-2 as the scoreline. He cannot get his break going at all, and look at the layout again. Look at them. They're just absolutely there to be mopped up.
He could actually go yellows here and just play the one into the middle and draw back slightly to take the awkward yellow by the red.
Yeah, the argument against reds being that one on the left-hand centre jaw, unless that drops in the centre comfortably, and I don't think it does, then reds are slightly tricky in that area. The one tricky yellow.
He's played in the gap, and if he's on it, then again, yellows are dot to dots because he's just got to swing round 2 rails, and he's got a choice of 4 yellows he could play on.
Shows the confidence he's playing with. That gap wasn't big. I know he wasn't moving the cue ball very far to land in it, but it wasn't a big gap, and he hit it perfectly.
And the way he's cueing this is game, set and match. I feel for Greg here tonight because he's not really had the opportunity to show his best game. His break's completely deserted him, and he's had 4 reverse clearances on his own break. The white stays up and he pots one.
Yeah, it's a different game, and also, you know, you look at the errors he's made. I think of which there is 2.
Yeah.
The first one was a tough finish that he took on, and he didn't quite get it. And it's fine margins at this level, but you can't take anything away from Conor Treacy. He has played a brilliant match, and this 8 ball to complete the job. And no mistakes with it. Conor plays a brilliant match to knock out the ultimate pool professional.
What a performance there from Conor Treacy. Absolutely fantastic. Just the one mistake in the match and plenty of brilliance. Lots of finishes from the break. On to our group final then. Nathan Ellis versus Conor Treacy. And we join Nathan at the table in the opening frame.
They're going this way. I think the yellows in the middle of the table are too much of a target for him.
That felt very similar to the start of the first match there for Nathan, in terms of it felt like the visit was controlling him rather than getting control of that visit early on. Almost like the first shot was slightly out of position, and it got worse as the visit went on. Question for me, does the yellow go to the top right-hand corner? If it doesn't, it's not the end of the world. He can get on the yellow right at the top of the table to the opposite corner pocket, but it helps him if it does go. And he does need to land on the one below the 8 ball as well.
Yeah, he's landed. I think he needed more of an angle here because I think he wanted to play back on the one on the left-hand side after this shot, but it doesn't look like he'll be able to. And as you said, it makes the finish a whole lot different and trickier because he's got to be pinpoint with his white now.
He's having a look at it now, even though he's thin on it. The reason being, he knows if he can get it out the way, it makes the finish so much easier. If he leaves it late, it's a real problem ball.
Is he looking at the? Was he looking at the big bag double?
Possibly thin cut or the big bag double. But it looks like he's going to be leaving it last, and hard to get good position. Would you like to leave loads of angle on the one in the right centre to come on and off the bottom cushion, almost target the 8 ball?
Yeah, I think that's the shot.
He's a little bit straight. Well, he's definitely too straight when we see the main camera angle to do that now, but he's still...
I think he can miss the black and the red and screw past them. Fancy it. This is tricky.
If he's dead straight on the double, it's not too bad because the 8 ball does go to the top right-hand corner. Still a big double, or it's the thin cut. And twice across. Looks like the thin cut. And in off. Well, we talk all the time about the fine margins in this game. That positional shot, 2 shots in, or 1 shot in, and then the second shot that followed. If he was a roll or 2 further to the right-hand side, he could have got on that ball early, got it out the way, and then made the clearance look simple. I am still slightly surprised, Liam, I'm not sure if you are, that once he didn't land on it, that he didn't play the thin cut or the double when he was in that same position earlier on in the visit, because he still had all those other yellows at the top of the table where he would have made it positional shot easier because he didn't have to play that good positional shot onto the 8 ball. And then, of course, you had balls in the way. If you missed it, you know, you could potentially not leaving an easy finish for your opponent.
No, I agree, and I think he's obviously... He probably could have also thought, well, Nathan's started a little bit edgy again, and he could, by going the double early on, he would have put the pressure on Nathan, even if he had missed, to knock in a more trickier finish than what he's now been left.
Train.
Nathan Ellis won the next 2 frames as well, one with a break clearance, one with a reverse clearance, and he is breaking off at 3-0 in front.
Essentially, players like myself who are sort of the next tier down as such, that's what we've got to aspire to get to, and that's why you put the time in to sort of find that level of consistency.
Yeah, I like the way you put that. That it's a level you're aspiring to get to and find, and you're working hard to do that, and it's great to see. That was a lovely break from Nathan. Just 1 ball to work out.
Yeah, and you can play this on his second shot if you wanted. He would have liked the white to have been at the bottom rail to play the shot, but now he's going to... He's played it well and can't fault all that, but again, I allude to like the top players, Gaz and a lot of the top pros, they would actually line the developing shot up and work out where the balls are going. It seems like he's just gone into them and hope for the best sort of thing.
Yeah, on another day, maybe you can get unlucky there and, you know, you flick into the centre pocket, you know, get tricky, but...
Yeah. You'll always see the top players like sort of weigh up the can and judge where the balls are going to go, and they half know where it's going to go anyway.
This isn't the best. Oh, it's a good result. I actually thought that yellow probably went, but the way he's played that tells me that it must... Maybe it didn't. It's a good result. If he's played for that cannon, he's got it. That's fair play to him.
I wonder if he's blocked the yellow in the middle of the table, though, to the bottom.
I think it still goes. It looks tight. I think it does still squeeze through. Yeah, I think the reason he's taking his time here is he's got a lot more angle than he wanted. He's a little bit thin. If that yellow does go to the bottom right, it's difficult to land on it. Hard to avoid the reds at the top of the table now.
Yeah, if it does go, I think he'll just play to screw into the red and leave the white pretty much where that red is. If it doesn't go, then he could be in trouble.
Yeah, he's just accepted what he's got. This is very tight. Do you think he almost has to play it off the
red?
Red, yeah.
Yeah, could do.
Not that red, the other red.
Yeah.
That red was always going to take it away from the pocket.
And that would cost him the frame and allow Conor to get going in the match. and he would also win the next 2 frames as well to tie the scores up at 3 frames all, and is breaking off in frame 7.
How Chris and Sheppy go with each other, I think they're a fantastic partnership. I actually think they're going to gel well together. I think they see the game in a similar way, and I think they're really going to fly.
Was Jordan in it last season?
I don't think so. Chris Melling played with Scott Gillespie last year, so there's a change for Chris. I don't think Sheppy played last year. I'm sure I'll be told by Ultimate Pool Statsman very shortly if I've got that wrong.
I wonder if that was Scott who's dumped Melling.
Yeah.
Red ball's in play.
Yeah, that's definitely a question for them.
Yeah.
Who dumped who?
It was definitely Raybone that dumped Jimmy.
So you mean you're stuck with him?
Yeah. He's played that well to get out onto the Reds here. And he needs this finish to settle him back in the match, because he was 3-0 up and Conor's come back at him. Nathan will know this is an important frame. He's just got to work out how he's going to get to the bottom red.
If he goes down for it now, he needs a good angle to come back out. Straight's no good. And just off straight the wrong way isn't great either.
No, I think he's going to have to top through here and play the red on the rail into the top right-hand pocket. As long as he's straight, he can just cue it and take the red into the bottom left.
And just like that, the Ultimate Pool Statsman has been in touch, and John Shepherd did play last year with Craig Lakin. Which I should know because I mentioned that on the show on Monday, so it's not it's only been 2 days, but yeah, there's a lot going on in the Ultimate Pool world.
Did Lakin dump Shepherd?
Yeah.
That's a great shot.
Yeah, that really is.
I think he can just drift the red in here and aim for the black in one of the middle pockets. Either one, really, wherever he's more comfortable with. I'd be playing on the black to the right middle, personally.
This is quite tight because he's had a few looks at this now, so it's not the full pocket, but still knocked it in the heart. And that, as you said at the start of that visit, that felt a very important visit to the table. You feel comfortable. Oh, he hit that break well. Cuba was always tracking a little bit close, but you'll be disappointed having won the previous frame to hand the opportunity straight back to Conor.
Yeah, and similar to the night, really, you've got an argument for both colour sets here. Personally, I think I'd go yellows as long as the 3 yellows go, like the top 2 of the yellows go into the middle. Then I'll be going for yellows because I think they all connect up.
Yeah, and Conor agrees with you. I feel with yellows, it's almost, it feels like one positional shot, which shouldn't be that tricky to do, gets you out.
Yeah, because he'll be after this shot, he'll play the one in the top right and land the yellow that's dead centre in the rail. He'll play to be straight on that, to just roll it in and then have a choice of the 3 in the middle. And he can roll the middle one of the 3 yellows into the middle and take the bottom one of the yellows into the bottom right, so they all just connect up without having to do much travelling.
And I love the way he's gone about trying to get on this one straight to the bottom left corner as well. You saw that just a little bit of trace aside means he's tracking down the line, which means he couldn't fail but land on the perfect angle on this ball.
Yeah, that's it. He's, like you say, he's going to play for the middle one of the 3 yellows here. He's got a choice to just roll straight through and be on the bottom yellow to the bottom right. At 4-4, I don't think we're going to be going for a 6 red. I think even if it could go the distance, we've got enough time on the match clock for this to go the distance.
And we are at 4-4.
Conor Treacy would also win the next 2 frames to go 2 frames clear at 6-4 in front. We join Nathan breaking off, having lost 6 of the last 7 frames.
Yeah, he's got to just commit. Oh, cue ball flying in. What's going on tonight?
Magnets.
That cue ball will not stay on the table for anybody tonight. This is a bad one as well. Cue ball right up the middle of the table.
Oh, he's been kissed into the middle.
Having just taken out a couple of nice finishes to go 6-4, he's thinking to himself, come on, make a ball here and get myself on the edge. Nathan has an opportunity, although, to be fair, they haven't opened up that nicely.
I've actually, if he pots the yellow that he's going for now, if he can play on the one on the left-hand side after this shot, he hasn't done it, but he could have potted that into the top right, come into the gap of the 3 yellows, potted that one in the middle and held on the black and the yellow.
Yeah.
And the finish would have
just
just
all been
opened up.
there. I think he was still trying to get, and he has got to that same area. So this is still actually a nice way around of going. He plays it off the red just to get that red away.
That's a good shot.
Yeah, open it up a bit more. That really was nice.
I wonder how perfect he has to be on the yellow to the middle, on the one by the black. It looks tight.
I think he's gone. Oh, he is perfect. He is absolutely perfect. That was a lovely couple of shots.
I'd be a million to reach this.
Yeah, this is a stretch. Nathan's not the tallest either. You can see, though, the 8-ball does go top right, also goes into the centre pocket.
He's played it well. Just slightly too much travelling.
Slight shake of the head tells us he's not thrilled with it, but you take this at the start of any frame to win it. 8-ball top right corner. Straight in the heart of the pocket. Oh, where's the cue ball? It's okay. It's okay for a potential extra bit of turnaround and extra little bit of drama. I found it really enjoyable seeing the races to 8. Don't get me wrong, I like the races to 4 as well, and seeing you guys bang under it from ball 1. But
it's no good for the nerves.
another awkward layout for Nathan.
Is it the time to dangle the carrot and let the other opponents have a go? He says no.
You get the sense that Nathan wants to go at every possible chance.
Yeah, and to be fair, the majority of players would go for this finish, don't get me wrong, but it's percentage play. And would everyone go for it? I don't know.
Yeah, when we talk about the percentage play, oh, what a shot. The vision to open everything up there. He's been a touch unfortunate. He's still on a ball. It's just the one that's nearest the cue ball now still doesn't have a great home.
Yeah, the vision is, like you said there,
he's got some tricks up his sleeve, isn't he?
If that yellow goes into the bottom left, he's potentially on for a chance of it. I don't know whether the yellow double. The yellow does double, I think, into the middle. So he's certainly on for this finish, and what a finish it'll be to go 6-all. This will hurt Conor if he gets this.
So it is the double.
The table does play a bit different on the doubles compared to the other tables. You played it really well.
Yeah, missed a couple of doubles throughout the night, but that one really nicely played. Oh, I said the previous frame was an incredibly good finish, and for me the best work from Nathan on the night. I'm going to take that back because that frame absolutely was. That was top draw finish there from Nathan Ellis.
Brilliant pull from Nathan Ellis. 2 great finishes to tie the scores up once again at 6 frames all. They also shared the next 2 frames to take us into a deciding frame.
Big moment here. Needs a ball, not the cue ball. Oh.
We should have called in and off the way the night's gone.
And look at the layout. Look what has been left.
which colour set are you going? Because you've got an argument for both.
Yeah, you've got a gift on whichever colour set you want. For me, yellows, but just because of the red on the right-hand side. But it's a close one.
Yeah, if you can get the white on like a blue spot area on the snooker table. Oh, he's had some luck.
He's still on the ball to the left centre pocket. What's he done here? What has he done?
I think it's the nerves.
He's still on this.
Is he?
He is. It's still just enough of a gap to clip this in the centre pocket, but it's a jabby one. And Rich Rhodes will be right on hand. No, he's playing away from it, which helps. And he's made it. What a recovery shot. Has knocked the 8-ball into an awkward position.
He's just dropping behind the 2 yellows. Again, he's not perfect. Top through, top back.
I think he's okay on the one to the top left. Or maybe, no, I think he's just off straight the wrong way on both of them.
Yeah. And now look where he's going. He's got the wrong angle to get on the black, I think. He might have to take it top bag, top pocket.
It's the double. The double to book his place in the second stage of the competition. He'll be disgusted he's not on it better. But he won't care if it flies in.
It's great.
And it's there. What a shot from Nathan Ellis to get over the line. Brilliant performance.
What a match. What an absolutely incredible match. Both players playing their part, but it is Nathan Ellis that gets over the line with that lovely finish to book his place in the second stage of the competition. If you'd like to watch this whole night back, you can go on to ultimatepool.tv and you can watch every single ball and every single shot. If you're looking forward to week 5, then you don't need to wait very long at all, because it is on Wednesday night, 3rd of August at 6:30 on ultimatepool.tv. The 6 times world champion, 3 times Pro Series champion Mick Hill is the headline act, the top seed. He'll be taking on Jake Dylan Newlove. Curtis Lee and Daniel Bishop will do battle in the other match, and then the 2 winners will play each other for a place in the second stage of Ultimate Pool, the Masters. I'll be back next week to recap what happened. Hope to have your company for that. See you soon.